Hey book lovers, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jenna and today we will be discussing all of the books that I picked up for myself in the month of January. So these are all of the books that I purchased for myself. Honestly, they're mostly from my library's book sale, so I've gotten most of these for $1, which is, shall we say, amazing. So let's just get started. The first book that I have to show you is The Joy Luck Club by Amy Tan. I have read The Bonesetter's Daughter by Amy Tan in college and I really enjoyed it. It was one of those rare books that I actually read all the way through because it was required for a class. It really held my attention, so I read the whole thing. And I've heard amazing things about the Joy Luck Club. Basically, it's about these 4 older Chinese immigrant women who live in San Francisco in the 40s, and they basically come together, I think maybe once a month, to talk and play mahjong and just talk about life. And it also discusses mother-daughter relationships and their relationships with their daughters who are American born. So I've just heard amazing things and I thought this edition was beautiful, so I picked it up for $1. The next one that I have is Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. Excuse me. And I've heard amazing things about this one. I believe Max over at Well Done Books has mentioned this a few times on his channel. When I just saw this on the shelf, it instantly reminded me of him, so I want to say he's discussed this author a lot, but I can't really remember, but I still picked this one up. It is about 3 childhood friends who kind of reconnect. They used to go to this boarding school together in the English countryside, and they mentioned something about one of them having some sort of special gift, so I'm wondering is this kind of magical realism? I'm not really sure, but I've heard great things about this author in particular, so I am excited to see what it is about. The next one, I heard great things from Jen over at Mrs. Hembry Reads. Yeah, I just heard that this one was just a sweet, kind of a heartwarming story, and it was also on the book sale shelf for $1, so why not? And that is The Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Society by Annie Barrows and Mary Ann Schaffer. And it's basically about this group of women who live on the island of Guernsey, which is a very small island in the English Channel. And this takes place in the 40s when it was occupied by the Germans, and I believe it's told entirely in letters, a letter format. So I always enjoy that in novels, so I've just heard great things, and it just seems like not really a light and fluffy, but just kind of a warm-hearted story. So we'll see how that one goes. And those 3 books are relatively short, so winning in my book. The next book that I have, again, on the library sale shelf, is The Night Sister by Jennifer McMahon. I read The Winter People in January and I really liked it. So I just saw this and it just seems like it would have the same type of feel as The Winter People did. So I just went ahead and picked it up. It just seems like Jennifer McMahon likes to focus on creepy, or slightly creepy stories with a little bit of with history woven in there. And it's kind of vague on the back, but from what I can gather, it is about this old mansion or this old castle that these 3 girls like to play in, but then one of them discovers something sinister hidden within the building, and that we kind of find out what happened in that building in the past. Apparently there was some sort of murder or something sinister happened. So it just sounds really intriguing, so I picked it up, and I really enjoyed her writing in The Winter People, so I'm intrigued by The Night Sister. The next book that I have, you probably already know what it's about because it's extremely popular, and especially when like I was in middle school, we all had to read this book, and that is Hatchet by Gary Paulson. I just like this edition, and it just came in as a donation, and we already have plenty of copies. So I was excited to pick this one up. I don't own it. I had to read this in middle school, so obviously I've already read it, but I'm just excited to actually own it because I just remember really liking it. Basically, it's about this 13-year-old boy named Brian who is on his way to see his dad for the summer, but ends up crashing in the wilderness. I want to say in Alaska or Washington, somewhere in the Northwest. And basically, he's by himself. He has to totally survive on his own in the wilderness until he can be rescued, if he can ever be rescued. So it was just, I remember being on the edge of my seat when reading this. maybe it was in 5th grade, I can't remember, but we all read it together as a class. Our teacher would read us either a chapter a day or a week, and we were just all dying to know what happened to Brian in the next chapter. So I'm excited for a reread of this. It's really short, and it's a Newbery honor book, so I'm excited for a reread because it's definitely been a while. The next book also came in as a donation to our library, and it wasn't in perfect condition, and it's also a paperback, and it's a YA book, so we try to get hardbacks of YA books if we can, just because they last longer. But I picked this up, and it is Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. We never get Sarah J. Maas books donated, so I was really excited to find this one. I don't own, well now I do, but I didn't previously own any of the Throne of Glass books, even though I absolutely love them. Well, actually, no, that's totally wrong. I do have one. I have Empire of Storms, but it's in hardback. But I was kind of going back and forth. Do I want to own it in paperback or hardback? I generally like paperbacks more, but anyway, this one came in as a donation, so I just took it as a sign that I should start collecting all of the paperbacks. So I have this one. It's in relatively good condition, not totally perfect, but I was just excited to grab this one. And because I found this one, I went ahead and started to buy the rest of them. So I picked up Throne of Glass, the first in the series, by Sarah J. Maas. I picked it up from Book Depository, and it was only for like $10. So I figure I'll just go ahead and start collecting the rest of the series in paperback. So yeah, this is the first book in the Throne of Glass series. I just love the series, and I'm just excited to start collecting and owning the rest of them. So if you haven't read this and you like fantasy or just young adult multi-perspective action-packed novels, I think you will really, wow, I almost hit myself in the face with the book. I think you'll really enjoy this. And last but not least, I have the book that I'm probably the most excited about, and that is probably the most beautiful cover I've ever seen. That is Jane Steele by Lindsay Fay. I absolutely adore Jane Eyre, and I've heard that this is kind of a retelling of Jane Eyre, except for Jane Steele is an assassin, so I was totally on board for that. And plus the cover is gorgeous, the spine is gorgeous, and I've just heard absolutely amazing things, especially from Joss over at Squibbles Reads. I cannot wait to get to this one. I probably will end up reading it in February, even though it's not on my February TBR, or March, and yeah. So I'm so excited to get to this one. This one I definitely did not find on my library sale shelf. I bought it for almost full price at Book Depository. I'm actually an affiliate with them now, so if you are ever interested in buying books from Book Depository, if you would like, you can totally use my link down below. I will get a very small commission based on any books that you might buy, just because I am an affiliate with them. I absolutely love the Book Depository. I have determined that it is probably the best online place to buy books, just because they're cheap and it's always free shipping, always. And you can find multiple nice editions of books. For example, the Mistborn trilogy by Brandon Sanderson. I do not like the American covers of those books, but I adore the UK covers, and you're able to find them very easily on Book Depository. So anyway, those are all of the books that I picked up in January. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and I will definitely see you guys very soon with another video. Bye!